Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express.
Celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7. I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, all sizes, only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order now.
That's right, folks. Order now. Head over to mypillow.com. Support an American-made product, a great patriot in Mike Lindell. And at the same time, you're helping us here at the Oreo Express. It's great to partner with them. Remember, use promo code OREO for substantial discounts and savings. You can also try out My Store. There's a lot of American-made products at mystore.com. Use the same promo code. We want to say appreciate you all. How's the Oreo Army doing this morning? I think we're doing all right. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. We got, obviously, Pete Hegseth, President Trump addressed the leaders, the generals, the people with all that brass in our military this morning. I liked it. There's some interesting things said. We're going to talk about the ending of DEI, the ending of wokeness. Since January 20th, that has been put on notice. That was Inauguration Day. And also going to talk about the looming shutdown. Not to mention, Trump made, after the event with our military leaders, Trump went back to the Oval Office and he had a press conference about some stuff going on with lowering prescription drug costs. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about a whole lot more, even the shutdown, and we got some funnies. Trump posted one of the funniest AI videos I've seen in a long time. We were laying in bed, and I remember to tell Rachel last night, I was like, hey, look at this. And I showed her the video, and it was classic Trump. Of course, it was racist and bigoted and all these other things. It's Trump. Get over it, folks. We're going to talk about all that and a lot more. Let me jump into the comments really quick. Darla Miller's in the house. Sugar Bear, Trina, Hunter, Texas Bigfoot. We got OUB, Old Uncle Bill in the house. D Souter, hello. Let's see. B Mikey with that beautiful American flag. I know a lot of people want to win an American flag with the Pledge of Allegiance. That is our raffle item right there. That is beautiful. And then Karen is in on the raffle as well, and she wants to donate the flag to the studio if she wins, which would be epic. No favoritism there or anything. Melissa, hello. How are you doing? Texas Bigfoot. Let's see who's coming. I'm going down to the bottom. I'm skipping some of you. Mater TJ, Soley, B. Norton, Susan K. Spencer. Appreciate you all. Let me go over here to this one over here. I think I see Patriot Roy D over here. I wish there was a way to filter this. There probably is. It's not coming up now. There it is. Patriot Roy D's in the house over there. And got some other folks in there. Nobody's commented yet on Twitch. I don't get kick comments. I'm sorry. They're working on all that stuff. I promise you. So, yeah, so a lot of stuff to talk about today. And once again, I want to say thank you for tuning in. It's beautiful here. This is probably two of my favorite times of the year, spring and fall. Again, people say, how do you stay in California? I'll tell you why. Part of it is the climate. It is absolutely beautiful. It was like 61 degrees with the house open this morning, and it's just got that brisk, cool feeling to it. I think it's going to be 81 today, but right now it's 71 degrees. I should be outside doing something in the sun, huh? That would be nice. But and then we got Caden's first field trip for school coming up in 8-9 days. I think October 8th. So we get to go to a pumpkin patch here pretty soon, which will be really cool. And I've already met most of his classmates from back to school night. But so that day, we will not have a morning show. I'll make sure we have an afternoon show. But that day, we're going to take some vacation hours so we can do a cool little field trip to the little pumpkin patch. And so we're going to get into it, guys. We're going to get into it. I just want you to know a lot of people are having a hard time finding updates to this. About an hour ago or so, maybe a little more than an hour ago, there was breaking news that Joint Base McGuire in New Jersey was on lockdown amid reports of an active shooter. I'll show you that right there.
McGuire Air Force Base in Lakehurst is currently under lockdown for an active shooter. The base posted this hour, quote, all personnel are on lockdown until further notice. All personnel outdoors should take cover. The Air Force Base is in Burlington County, about 15 miles outside New Jersey's state capital in Trenton. I want to go back to Brett. Brett, your first thoughts on this, and I'm looking down at the enormity.
And we're not going to go through this whole little interview here or this little segment. Before I had this, I was working on the show for a while. So right when that was breaking, I put it up, and I noticed a lot of people were asking questions. Joint Base, all clear. It's an all clear. The threats were unfounded. I've heard a couple different stories. Someone thought they heard gunshots. But everybody's safe. Everything's good to go. And so that's a blessing. That is a blessing. On Trump's way this morning, he left to go obviously address our top brass in the military. And he was asked some questions. Did I get both of them up here? No. There's one I missed. That's all right. One of the questions is the shutdown. We are less than 12 hours away from a shutdown, folks. 11 hours away, I think. And so he was asked about mass layoffs of federal workers. We talked about this. Democrats want to do it. The ball is completely in their courts. The House already passed a continued resolution. Now it's up to the Senate. Democrats aren't happy about that. We'll get into that at the end of the show, but I want you to listen to what Trump said.
How many federal workers do you plan to lay off?
Well, we may do a lot, and that's only because of the Democrats. And as you know, they want to be able to take care of people that have come into our country illegally, and no system can handle that. And so we're totally opposed on that. But we can't take it. We just can't do it. I'd love to do everybody. I'd love to do the whole world. But our country can't handle people that come into our country illegally. And they want to give them full health care benefits. They want to open the wall again. Can you believe it? I can't even believe it. They want to open the wall. They haven't taken away boys playing in women's sports. They haven't done that. Men playing in women's sports. It's like they don't change. They lost an election in a landslide, and they don't change.
They don't change. We've talked about that time and time again. The double down, like we've got the grave dug 6 feet deep. Let's go 12 feet. And so again, less than 11 hours or so until a government shutdown. Now let's get into it. We're going to play you some different videos, not everything. I just picked some highlights of what went on today. I like how it says strength, service, and America in the background. This is Raising Cane right here. This is the Joint Staff Chairman, General Dan Kane. I want you to listen to this, and we're going to get into Hegseth and then Trump. So take a listen to this.
Admirals, senior, good morning. Wow, what a group here today. I will tell you that our enemies are terrified right now that we are all in the same room, and that is a true statement. Welcome everyone to Marine Corps Base Quantico and the first ever Key Leaders All Call. To the Commandant and all of the Marines that have made this event possible, thank you. This was no small feat to put this event together in short order, and I'm glad there's pull-up bars just outside. The SEALs in the corner out there are very happy about that. I regret to inform you there will not be a PT test after this event because I know you all would crush it. Last night, I had the privilege of joining the Secretary and the Joint Chiefs in honoring 50 Gold Star families at the White House as the President, the First Lady, and our nation honored their loved ones' service and sacrifices. Teammates, it was a quiet and deeply meaningful event that reminded all of us that were lucky enough to be there of the serious and unforgiving nature of the business that we are in, fighting and winning our nation's wars. Leaders, we are living in dynamic and potentially dangerous times. Global risk is on the rise. Our adversaries are no longer aligning, they are aligned. And we must align with equal resolve and unity. Even as we strive for and seek peace, we must be prepared for war. Now, more than ever, it is vital that we hear from our civilian leaders, understand where they're taking the department and the joint force. And today we have the unprecedented opportunity and honor to hear directly from the Secretary of War and our Commander-in-Chief. Together, you and I and our civilian leaders have the honor of leading the finest military in the world. And we must seize every opportunity every day to prepare our joint force for the future. I am deeply humbled to serve with each and every one of you.
So that was, again, the Joint Staff Chairman, General Raising Cane. Trump's been a big fan of his. He's done some incredible work. Now let's get into some of the stuff that Pete Hegseth talked about. Again, since since Pete Hegseth was confirmed as the Secretary of War, there's been a lot about what should our military be? What is our military? What was it created for? It was warriors, defense of the homeland. And he calls out wokeness pretty clear and precise today. And I think it was absolutely epic. I want you to listen to a couple different, some of them might overlap, but take a listen to this.
It's not their fault. But in many ways, it's not their fault. It's not your fault. As foolish and reckless as the woke department was, those officers were following elected political leadership. An entire generation of generals and admirals were told that they must parrot the insane fallacy that, quote, our diversity is our strength. Of course, we know our unity is our strength. They had to put out dizzying DEI and LGBTQI plus statements. They were told females and males are the same thing, or that males who think they're females is totally normal. They were told that we need a green fleet and electric tanks. They were told to kick out Americans who refuse an emergency vaccine. They followed civilian policies set by foolish and reckless political leaders. But in many ways, it's not their.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There was a lot of calling out past administrations, but for the most part, there's new standards going to be. I want you, this one, this was just great. This was epic. This is what I voted for, guys. Again, it seems like, and it wasn't just the last 4 years. It did happen under the last Trump administration as well. There was things so deep and entrenched inside the documents and really just policy that everything was worried about DEI. Companies did this, our government did this, our education system is still doing this. Take a listen to this, and I thought it was absolutely epic. I enjoyed this one.
To remove the social justice, politically correct, and toxic ideological garbage that had infected our department. To rip out the politics. No more identity months, DEI, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that shit. I've made it my mission to
We are done with that crap. No more dudes in dresses. No more climate worship. And that's what the climate cult has been about. The DEI cult, the alphabet mafia cult. You need to worship us. You know, they went from equality. And I've said this time and time again, man, growing up, if you were gay, you were gay, whatever. Nobody cared. Just you live your life. You don't, you know, I'm not going to push my beliefs on you. You don't do that. And then it just became like, you need to worship my flag. We need this. We need this holiday. I mean, how many months of, I think we figured it out, over 5 months of the calendar was designated to people's sexual preference, their fetishes. Not no more in our military. And he does another one right here I'm going to show you I thought was absolutely epic. If it'll close. Hold on, we're frozen. Not frozen there. We're just frozen on this one. Oh, man. This isn't good, Josh. You're under pressure. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to have to do a force quit and hope everything opens up, man. This computer's been bad, really bad lately. I hope it don't do something stupid. There we go. Wow, it worked. It worked. I'm a master at this stuff. Should be by now. Next year, guys, I keep saying pray because we're working on getting YouTube back. If we can get our original YouTube channel back. I would say by like February or March of next year, we can finally get another computer because this one is dying. It takes me like probably double the time to even prep for a show right now than it used to just 2 years ago. But again, it's all in God's plan. How about this? Is this sir? I might have the wrong one up. Hold on. Okay, we're going to have to do this a little different. That's fine. Listen.
Standards must be uniform, gender neutral. I don't want my son serving alongside troops who are out of shape, or in combat unit with females who combat arms physical standards as men, or troops who are not fully proficient on their assigned weapons, platform, or task, or under a leader who was the first but not the best. Standards must be uniform, gender neutral, and high. If not, They're not standards. They're just suggestions. Suggestions that get our sons and daughters killed. When it comes to combat arms units, and there are many different stripes across our joint force, the era of politically correct, overly sensitive, don't hurt anyone's feelings leadership ends right now. At every level, either you can meet the standard, either you can do the job, either you are disciplined, fit, and trained, or you are out. And that's why today, at my direction, and this is the first of 10 Department of War directives that are arriving at your commands as we speak and in your inbox. Today, at my direction, each service will ensure that every requirement for every combat MOS, for every designated combat arms position, returns to the highest male standard only. Because this job is life or death. Standards must be met. And not just met, at every level, we should seek to exceed the standard, to push the envelope, to compete. It's common sense and core to who we are and what we do. It should be in our DNA. Today, at my direction, we are also adding a combat field test for combat arms units that must be executable in any environment at any time and with combat equipment. These tests, they'll look familiar. They'll resemble the Army Expert Physical Fitness Assessment or the Marine Corps Combat Fitness Test. I'm also directing that warfighters in combat jobs execute their service fitness test at a gender-neutral, age-normed male standard scored above 70%. It all starts with physical fitness and appearance. If the Secretary of War can do regular, hard PT, so can every member of our joint force. Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test. And as the chairman said, yes, there is no PT test. But today, at my direction, every member of the joint force at every rank is required to take a PT test twice a year, as well as meet height and weight requirements twice a year, every year of service. Also today, at my direction, every warrior across our joint force is required to do PT every duty day. Should be common sense. I mean, most units do that already, but we're codifying it. And we're not talking like hot yoga and stretching. Real hard PT, either as a unit or as an individual. At every level, from the Joint Chiefs to everyone in this room to the youngest private, leaders set the standard. And so many of you do this already.
It's like, it's pretty bad we even have to have this conversation. We've talked about this numerous times before. Not even with the military, but we see people that are law enforcement and are 150 pounds overweight. And what service are you doing if you need to catch a bad guy? Same thing with this. And he says that, he's offended when he sees fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon. He wants to change. He wants, when you look at other countries that want to destroy us, they're not set on, well, hold on, John can't do this right now. He's getting ready for his gender surgery. None of that stuff other countries that want to destroy us are worried about. And we should have never been worried about it. We should have never had it in the first place. And I think it's absolutely epic that we're doing this. I like the fact that he's blunt. He's not sugarcoating. He's not worried about your feelings. If he offended you, good. If he offended anybody, there's problems with those people. And I'm watching the left right now put all this stuff out that he was so evil and it just wasn't right. You know what? These people must have not played any type of competitive sports as a kid. I can tell you at 12, 13 years old, one of my coaches told us the same thing. You want to go out here and win for your junior high or your high school? You're going to have to work. You're going to have to wake up. You're going to have to get to school a half hour early and run laps. You're going to have to sit here and do this. You're going to have to sit here and do that. Again, and then we got in the participation trophy era. You all know what I'm talking about. And now we're finally coming to a point where, hey, but you know what? Remember, they're also upset because now people are saying this is discriminatory against women. The same group that said there was no difference between man and woman, that a man can become a woman and there's no biological advantages. And he addresses that too. Take a look at this right here because he calls it out.
And I want to be very clear about this. This is not this, and I want to be very clear about this. This is not about preventing women from serving. We very much value the impact of female troops. Our female officers and NCOs are the absolute best in the world. But when it comes to any job that requires physical power to perform in combat, those physical standards must be high and gender neutral. If women can make it, excellent. If not, it is what it is. If that means no women qualify for some combat jobs, so be it. That is not the intent, but it could be the result, so be it. It will also mean that weak men won't qualify because we're not playing games.
See, right there, he's talking about First Amendment media, Matt. He said weak men.
This is combat. This is life or death. As we all know, this is you versus an enemy hell-bent on killing you. To be an effective, lethal fighting force, you must trust that the warrior alongside you in battle is capable, truly physically capable of doing what is necessary under fire. You know this is the only standard you would want for your kids and for your grandkids. Apply the War Department Golden Rule, the 1990 test, and the E6 test, and it's really hard to go wrong.
Again, under the woke administration, they made different standards. We all got to go off to war, men and women. We all got to do things, but these women don't have to lift as much. They don't have to be as physical as you. You know what? If that was your if that was your son or daughter, if that was your son out there or your daughter who could hit all these tests, pass them with flying colors, and then you have somebody, because the standards were lowered, that won't be able to carry your son or daughter out of that war-torn area after IED explodes, after they're shot. And I think this is amazing. This is exactly what I voted for. Again, they're laying it out there. And if you don't like it, you can leave. And, he kind of addresses that. But this is one of my favorites as well. Let's see what he says to our enemies.
To our enemies, F-A-F-O.
Man,
to
that's
our
gonna
enemies.
be one of my promos for the Oreo Army, guys. That was excellent. And then he also puts out a little ultimatum out there.
No.
Take a listen.
But if the words I'm speaking today are making your heart sink, then do the honorable thing and resign. We would thank you for your service. But I know, the overwhelming majority of you feel the opposite. These words make your hearts full. You love the War Department because you love what you do, the profession of arms. You are hereby liberated to be an apolitical, hard-charging, no-nonsense, constitutional leader that you joined the military to be. We need you locked in on the M, not the D, the E, or the I, not the DEI or the DIE of dime. By that I mean the M, military, of the instruments of national power. But if the words I'm speaking...
Again, if the words I'm speaking makes your heart sink, resign. Well, thank you for your service.
Today
And
are making your
that's exactly what we need, guys. Again, when we talked about it at the beginning, what we learned, a lot of us knew a lot. We covered a lot from the Obama era, even when we seen the corruption under when Trump was first elected, and we seen how DEI, DEI was destroying this country. Democrats were weaponizing different departments in the government to go against its own president. We had a traitor in Mark Milley who was working behind President Trump's back and working with communist China, telling them that he would warn them if we ever had any military action. Like, these people should be in prison. And now we're going to an area where only perfection. Again, promises made, promises kept. Listen to President Trump as he walks out, what he said when he walked out.
Thank you very much, Pete. Great job you're doing, too. Fantastic job. I've never walked into a room so silent before. This is very, don't laugh. You're not allowed to do that. You know what? Just have a good time. And if you want to applaud, you applaud. And if you want to do anything you want, you can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank. There goes your future. But you just feel nice and loose, okay? Because we're all on the same team. And I was told that.
I thought that was great. He had some funnies today. Good old Trump. This one right here, he talks about the principle of the military is defending the homeland, folks. It's not, enlist and we'll pay to remove your pee-pee. It wasn't that. I know that's where our military went to. We are fixing that. We are, again, if you have a mental health condition, the military is not the place to enlist to get help. There is other things for you. Take a listen to this here.
But together with many of you in the room, brought back the fundamental principle that defending the homeland is the military's first and most important priority. That's what it is. Only in recent decades did politicians somehow come to believe that our job is to police the far reaches of Kenya and Somalia, while America is under invasion from within. We're under invasion from within. But together with many of you in the room.
We've said that for a while. We've almost said those exact words over the last 7-8 years when we've seen our poor college students going off to college with these woke professors that hate this country. And they're getting paid for with our tax dollars. All the things that Trump is working to end. The fact that we have cities that want to defund the police and give free rein to anarchists and Antifa so that they can destroy cities, burn it down. We've seen it in the Summer of Love. And not once did one Democrat step up and say, hey, you know what? Trump's right about this. We need to. John Fetterman's kind of on that edge right now. John Fetterman has said some stuff. But other than that, and I still don't know how to take John Fetterman, to be honest with you. I don't know. He also said, President Trump also said exactly in the same meaning that, again, peace through strength. And with strength, you need physical fitness. You need a clear mind. You can't be, some woke.
We're bringing back a focus on fitness, ability, character, and strength. And we're bringing back a focus on fitness, ability, character, and strength. And that's because the purposes of the American military is not to protect anyone's feelings. It's to protect our republic. And it's the republic that we dearly love. It's to protect our country. We will not be politically correct when it comes to defending American freedom. And we will be a fighting and winning machine. We want to fight. We want to win. And we want to fight as little as possible. You have to count on people like me to keep you out of wars because we don't want to go into wars.
We're bringing back a focus on fitness, ability.
Absolutely. Fitness, ability, all the things that, and he said it pretty clearly right now. Think about that for a second. They have to count on him to keep us out of wars, to protect our men and women, to not go off on the typical stupid ways we've done before in the past. And it's just sad. It's just sad that we've lost so many with the botched withdrawal, everything that happened under failed leadership. What does he say in the next one? Oh, this was kind of a funny. He said this before, but he said it in front of our generals here, talking about the N-word. Take a listen. See if this is gonna.
And it was really a stupid person that works for him mentioned the word nuclear. I moved a submarine or two, I won't say about the two, over to the coast of Russia, just to be careful, because we can't let people throw around that word. I call it the N-word. There are two N-words, and you can't use either of them. You can't use either of them. And frankly, if it does get to use, we have more than anybody else. We have better, we have newer, but it was really.
That triggered the left as well, but we're going to show you some videos here in a minute of how left or how triggered they actually were when he put out an AI video here in a moment. And one thing he did is right now, we do have somewhat of a civil war going on in this country, especially in blue cities where they're putting American citizens last. The leaders, the police are not holding up their oath to protect the American people, to put American citizens first. And we've seen, for the first time in months, we've seen Portland Police Department actually out there arresting people that were violent, that were assaulting federal agents. They were actually arresting these people for the first time. And that's thanks to Trump with his deploying. Now the cities are like, oh, wow, we're looking bad. We got to act like we're doing something. And he kind of hints to that right here. Take a listen to what he says about their role.
George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Grover Cleveland, George Bush, and others all used the armed forces to keep domestic order and peace. Many of our leaders used the military to keep peace. Now they like to say, oh, you're not allowed to use the military. And you know what the people say? The people in those cities where they're being raped and shot and beat up, you know what they say? We love the military. You ever see where they interview the people on the street? I've never seen somebody say they don't, unless they're radical and paid off, because a lot of these insurrectionists are paid by, whether it's Soros or other people, but they're paid by the radical left. So today I want to thank every service member from general to private who has bravely helped us secure the nation's capital and make America safe for the American people. It's amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Again, to say that our military can't protect our own citizens is absolutely ridiculous. And here he is roasting Congress and the fake news at the same time. This was pretty good. There had to be a few jabs in there, and listen to President Trump right here.
Honest press, we need fair elections. I mean, those three things. And we don't have an honest press. We have a really corrupt press, but we fight through the corrupt press. And the people understand you have to do this stuff a lot. You have to go on television a lot because you can't get a fair shake if you're going to rely on somebody else. They don't understand. They've destroyed the image of media now is at the lowest point it's ever been. It's lower than Congress. Can you believe that? It's something.
It's lower than Congress.
But together with many of you in the room, we've brought back the fundamental principle that defending the homeland is the military's first and most important priority.
Absolutely a priority. Defending the homeland as it should be. I'm not worried about a foreign country's borders. I'm worried about my borders. Once we get this straightened out here, folks, we are the most generous nation in the world, but we need to stop putting meddling into countries that we have no business meddling in. And that has been the history of the United States for as long as I've been alive. He finishes off here. Take a listen to this. A lot of different clips.
There could be no higher honor than to serve as your commander. It's a great honor. I look at you, you're just incredible people. Central casting, I might add. To each and every one of you, I thank you for your unwavering devotion to the armed forces and to the country that we've all sworn a sacred oath to defend. We all have that oath, every one of us. I'm thrilled to be here this morning to address the senior leadership of what is once again known around the world as the Department of War. There could be no higher honor than to serve as your commander.
The Department of War, no higher honor than to serve. And I think that's absolutely epic. So that was kind of our brief update on what happened today. I know we were talking last week that this meeting was happening, people coming from around the world, different bases, everything. That is the gist of it. Again, a redirection back to securing our homeland, making sure that these members are physically fit. The wokeness is out of this. No more DEI, all the things that I find absolutely great. Now, yesterday on True Social, Trump played this video, and I thought it was hilarious. Take a listen to this.
There's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too. There's no way.
Oh my gosh. I was like, this is epic. This is epic. I just find this absolutely
Way to sugarcoat it.
that he did this.
Nobody.
And I knew there would be outcries. I thought it was absolutely epic. For years, Democrats have put illegal aliens ahead of American citizens, whether it's healthcare, housing. And we've covered it all for you firsthand here. We had an assembly member, Joaquin Arambulo, the one that beat his child. Who was at the end of last year, probably right before election time, tried to pass a bill to give illegal aliens taxpayer dollars so they could buy a home, putting illegal aliens. We're spending over $11.4 trillion this year in the state I'm sitting in. We are in California right now, and Gavin Newsom, 11.6. Man, a lot of money. Was it trillion or billion? I want to say billion. I'm probably wrong. Dollars for free healthcare for illegals, where people like me suffer. I'm hoping to get insurance next month. We're working on that. But I'm an American citizen. They want to charge me quite a bit of money each month to get insurance. There's no programs for me. But if I come into the country illegally, you kidding me? I can walk right into a doctor, go get my prescription, and you, the taxpayer, fund it. It's just absolutely sick. And Hakeem Jeffries was a little triggered about this.
We're going to continue to make clear, bigotry will get you nowhere. Give us your...
Listen to this. This is epic. This is epic.
Reaction to that Trump posted video tonight.
It's a disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear, bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
We're going to get into that here in a minute, but we just wanted to show you the two things that he did. There's another one at the end of the show. We're going to talk about the shutdown and listen to what he said. Mr. Dollar Store Obama, big man, big man. I mean, this is the biggest soy we've ever seen. You know, this is the problem with the Democrat Party. Where is the toxic masculinity? Where is it? Oh, that's right. That's racist. That's bigoted. Remember when they said 4 years ago, when people were working out, that was a form of white supremacy? You can't make this up. And again, exactly what Starr just said. Illegals are not the American people. They want to continue funding their radical policies that cost you and me a lot of tax dollars and put, again, illegal aliens first. We're going to put illegal aliens at home where they belong, and they can try to come in the right way. There is a line. There is a way to do it. And Democrats let over 20 million illegals in over 4 years while telling the American people everything's fine. The borders are closed.
The next time you have something to say about me, don't cop out through a racist and fake AI video. When I'm back in the Oval Office, say it to my face. Say it to my face.
Denise says that I thought that was funny. He's a big man. Only you are in the way of receiving benefits. Trump won't give them to you, but Kamala certainly wouldn't have done any of this to our vets. My brother who lost his legs for this country. Yes, Mexican A. Your race don't matter. Your status of citizenship does and what laws you broke. Trump has been the best president when it comes to our service members, our veterans. Unless you watch MSNBC, CNN, once again, it's great that we are getting rid of people in our service whose only worry is about themselves, who hate this country. They want to see a socialist America. Well, sorry, that's not the place for you. Just in, another thing we're going to talk about. President Trump is set to announce, and he did, but this was earlier in the day, a launch of Trump RX, which is a new website to allow Americans to buy discounted drugs for cash. This will cut out the middleman, lower prices on prescription drugs, as users can search for specific drugs from multiple different manufacturers. There was a deal with Pfizer made. We're going to talk about that as well. Take a listen to this. Again, promises made, promises kept. Pull this up. Man, we got somebody in here, Denise, man. She is woke. She woke over there on YouTube. All she worries about skin color, and that's the problem with Democrats. They don't care who you are inside. They don't care about Martin Luther King Jr.'s pledge. It's about the content of character. They don't care about that, guys. They are destroyed inside. Their brain is a woke cancer, and that's all they can talk. Well, what about his color? I don't care about people's color. Don't care about it. If you're here illegally, you got to go. Bottom line. Don't care if you're white. Don't care if you're from Russia. Don't care if you're from Europe. Don't care about any of that.
Like nothing else. I told you that in my first term, I was so proud of the fact that for the first time in 28 years, drug prices came down. And I had a news conference that I explained it was 0.1%, but it was down. And here we're talking about, in one case, over 1,000%. This is a critical step forward to our work and to improve health.
So he's talking about what he's talked about before. He has tried this with his administration, didn't have a whole lot of luck. with RFK Jr. and all the people at HHS. He is sitting there, and guess what he's saying? He is saying, wow, these people are getting ripped off. Other countries have done what? Got lower prices than America, even though those medicines are manufactured right here in America. Kind of crazy, right? Kind of crazy. Listen to this right here. This is where he does some announcements.
Offer all of their prescription medications to Medicaid. Today, Pfizer is committing, as will other drug companies as we go through the weeks. But is truly one of the biggest in the world and one of the greatest in the world. Today, Pfizer is committing to offer all of their prescription medications to Medicaid, and it will be at the most favored nation's prices. It's going to have a huge impact on bringing Medicaid costs down like nothing else. I told you that in my first term, I was so proud of the fact that for the first time in 28 years, drug prices came down. And I had a news conference that I explained it was 0.1%, but it was down. And here we're talking about, in one case, over 1,000%. This is a critical step forward to our work and to improve healthcare, and hardworking, low-income Americans, especially low-income Americans, will be helped so greatly.
So he's cut a deal with Pfizer. He's talked about this where he was going to do some damage to these pharmaceutical companies if they gave other countries better deals on prescription drugs than we get here in the United States of America. And Pfizer has stepped up. I just think it's absolutely great. Hold on, I got it. Poor Denise, man. She's sitting over there. If anybody has a Trumpanol, give it to Denise. Trumpanol. You take 2 and call me in the morning. But you know what the great thing is, though? Trump is your president. But this is just absolutely awesome, guys. This is absolutely awesome. Listen to what he tells the Pfizer CEO right here while the press conference is going on.
Of the world's population,
it's, again, promises made, promises kept. When Democrats were putting illegal aliens first, when they didn't care about your health care, when they wanted your health care rationed. They wanted government rationing of health care because they wanted to decide what kind of health care you could get. And we said, nope. I just think it's absolutely beautiful what we're seeing here, guys.
States at just 4% of the world's population and consumers, only 13% of all prescription drugs, yet pharmaceutical companies make 75% of their profits from the United States. So think of that. We have 4% of the market, 13% of prescription drugs, and yet, Albert, I didn't know you were that violent. I'm surprised you're agreeing to this.
I'm getting better.
No, he's doing the right thing. Thank you. And yet they make 75% of their profits from the American customers. So it's something.
You see how he called them out right there, right in front of him? 75% of your profits come from American customers. You've been ripping us off, and now it's time to have a little fun here and bring down some prices for the consumer.
That's why I signed an executive order combating this practice, and we signed it very happily a little while ago. Today, Pfizer is committing, as will other drug companies as we go through the weeks. But Pfizer is truly one of the biggest in the world and one of the greatest in the world. Today, Pfizer is committing to offer all of their prescription medications to Medicaid, and it will be at the most favored nation's prices. It's going to have a huge impact on bringing Medicaid costs down.
Favored nations pricing. And again, when you talk about saving money and those folks that are on Medicare, and that saves you, the taxpayer, the money. Why? Because Medicare is paying $197 for this prescription, or $574. And a lot of people, I told you my mom was dying of cancer 2 years ago. And her biggest worry was her deductible, was how she was going to get. She had a heart medicine that she couldn't even get. They wanted $1,100 for this woman who has worked her entire life. She worked until she was like 71. Those days need to end. Trump and all needs to be a shirt, Jay Lynn with the Rumble rant. Oh, man. You know what, guys? This is what we, again, this is what Democrats have been trying to obstruct. They don't want this to go through. They just had 4 years of the auto pin in office with all their woke ideologies, their woke policies, not caring about the American people. And Trump has put people in his cabinet that are fighting each and every day to not only make you healthier, but to save you some cost on stuff. And just like people complain, well, the price of coffee is up. What did the price of coffee? I have coffee right here. I'm not a rich man. What'd we do? We did the test. It went up like 2 cents a cup when you all add it up. If you buy whatever it is, Folgers, it's not up much. In that big can of Folgers, there's a lot of cups of coffee right there. So when that went up $2 from whatever it was, $14.99 to $16.99, it didn't kill anybody. Your gas prices are down. Just give it some time, folks. You're going to see epicness. Here was RFK Jr. Again, somebody from the Democrat Party that is, again, one of the many of the Democrat Party that is on Trump's team, which you don't see in any other administration, but take a listen to what he says.
Makes that vision happen. And I can't think of any other president of the United States who could have done this in our history. And I'm very grateful to you. This is an extraordinary benefit. The American people, thank you for your vision, President Trump. You're bold.
There's not another president in history that could have done this. Interesting. And you know what? I'm sorry. I'm a fan of RFK Jr. on some things. I'm not a fan on other things. What the position that Trump has put him in, I absolutely love. I love his stance on this. I love his stance on getting America healthy again. His stance on just making healthcare normally affordable, like the 80s, the 90s, before Obamacare. I've told you guys forever, I had a family of 4 and I was paying like $76 bi-weekly. My prescription, my copays were $10. I didn't have once Obamacare came, now, you gotta have this. Well, you have a $1,500 deductible, $2,500 deductible, $5,000 deductible, and that needs to be met before you can get this process. We didn't have that. It's just absolutely insane. Just taking out the trash really quick, guys. And then we have this over here. Dr. McCary, the FDA. Listen to what he had to say.
And here we are.
Take a listen to this.
Drug spending, that is the increase in drug pricing, is the fastest and biggest increasing area of healthcare spending. So today's announcement has incredible implications for healthcare spending in the United States. And today marks the beginning of the end of the Great American Ripoff. And it also marks the beginning and the end of a great American tragedy, something I've seen as a physician at the bedside. Patients getting spun up into a financial rage, doing GoFundMe campaigns online, sending repeat reminders, asking people to donate, getting their churches to pass the offering plate from pew to pew, Sunday after Sunday, to try to get enough money to pay for a drug in the United States, a drug that's 5 or 10 times more expensive than the same drug in France or Germany or the UK. People get spun up and it's a tragedy. Having cancer is hard enough. Getting spun up into a financial rage in order to try to get the money to pay for treatment makes it so much harder. 37% of people who go through cancer care say in the end that the financial toxicity makes them want to avoid or delay care in the future. That is, they're done with it. They're done with the system. That's how toxic financial toxicity can be. And for what? For what? So the U.S. can finance the R&D of the world? Well, that ends today, thanks to President Trump. So we want to see R&D. We want to see American pharmaceutical companies thrive. We want to see pharmaceutical companies that do business and manufacture in the United States thrive. At the FDA, we're doing our part. If you're going to equalize your price to that of other wealthy countries, we're not talking about Zimbabwe. We're talking about Germany, France, UK, Japan, other wealthy countries, the OECD countries. If you equalize your price, then we're going to put your future applications at the front of the line. A voucher to get a review in weeks has a market street value of about $500 million because every day is money when it comes to getting a drug approved. And so if you meet one of the president's national priorities stated very clearly, moving manufacturing to the United States, meeting a large unmet public health need, or equalizing your prices. We're the largest purchasers of drugs. We deserve the best prices. And so we're going to do our part. And if a generic company makes their drug in the United States, that application is going to move to the front of the line as well. And if you're going to build a plant in the United States, our FDA inspectors will walk through that plant during the construction phase, something never done before, so that it's ready on day one. So thank you, Mr. President, for your leadership. They said it couldn't be done, and here we are.
Said it couldn't be done, and here we are. I can tell you, when Trump does something good, it melts the TDS liberals. They want to focus on somebody's history or past. Gosh, please don't focus on my history or past, man. Thank God we can all be forgiven for some of our indiscretions and bad things we did in the past, man. We serve a great Lord. I just think I think it's amazing that credit can't be given where credit is due. This will be historic. This will go on, and other companies. This was just Pfizer. Other companies are watching this right now, like, we're going to be put in the back of the line in the United States where we manufacture the drugs. It's absolutely outstanding. Again, winning. I'm not tired yet. We got a long way to go. We're only 8 months into the presidency, and we have all these things. There was a funny I want you to listen to, and all those mask-wearing libtards, be careful here. You might catch COVID. Take a look.
We'll get it down even further. But insulin was, people weren't taking it, I would imagine. They couldn't take it. God bless you, Bobby. I hope I didn't catch COVID just there. Don't you have Paxlovid? What is it? Paxlovid. He's got Paxlovid. Give me a Paxlovid immediately.
The dude is just absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. I love it. And he does talk about we're going to get into the shutdown talk. But before we get into the shutdown, don't forget we have our raffle going on this week. You need to get in now. It's going to be, there is 3 items. We have the Charlie Kirk Rest in Peace poster that we got when we were down in Phoenix for the memorial last week. We also have a choice, any shirt you want, but I think you guys will choose one of our memorial shirts for Charlie Kirk on our website, or a coffee cup, shirt or coffee cup. We have both in the memorial of Charlie Kirk. And this one right here, the most epic thing, this flag right here, this, whatever it is, 3/16, quarter-inch, not too sure, but it weighs about 6 pounds. It has the Pledge of Allegiance lasered out. This is a beautiful flag. Take a look at that. And that could be yours. We're going to pick one winner. The way you get in is every $10 donations. That is how we are funded. We are 100% viewer funded. You, the viewer, keeps us on the air, keeps us traveling, going all these places. It's all thanks to you. So if you want to get in, each donation of $10 gets you one entry. If you do $30, that's 3 entries. $50, that's 5 entries. And you could do it through Venmo at Oreo Josh. That's Venmo at Oreo Josh. Cash App, $ Oreo Army. Again, that's Cash App, $ Oreo Army. We also have our GiveSendGo right there, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And then if you do mobile or online banking and you want to do a Zelle transfer, you can do that as well. Our Zelle address is located on our website, theoreoexpress.com. The website is theoreoexpress.com. And when you go to our homepage, you scroll down to the Donate Now button, click that Donate Now button, and our Zelle address will be there. We appreciate everybody who's jumped in. Everybody, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, if you weren't there, Karen got some raffle tickets. She says if she wins, she wants that up on the wall for everybody to see. So thank you, Karen. Appreciate your support. Now let's get into the shutdown talk. Pull this up right here.
And through this whole thing, because I don't know, a shutdown, because one of the things they want to do is they want to give incredible Medicare, the Cadillac Medicare to illegal immigrants. And what that does is it keeps them coming into our country, and like they do in California. And no country can afford that. No country. And we have the border stopped up. We have it closed. We have nobody for 4 months. Zero people came in. That wasn't me. That's by the authorities who happen to be liberally oriented. But just think of that. We have people offering health care to people all over the world that they can't afford to pay. And that's the Democrats. And what that does is it brings people into the country because they want to come in for the health care. But no country can afford it. And they can't afford it. So we cannot allow them to charge tremendous amounts of money for health care for people that aren't even citizens. And in many cases, they come in from prisons, jails, and mental institutions.
Absolutely. We've seen this. It's been proven once again. Democrats, the party of illegal aliens, not the party of the American people. It's kind of interesting. I think it was Nancy Pelosi put this out. And again, if you weren't up to date on things and you didn't do your research, you might say, oh, wow, Nancy Pelosi could be right. Let's see what she says, and we'll see. The government shuts down tonight, but House Republicans are on vacation. Now let's address that. The House already passed the clean CR. It's up to the Senate, Nancy. You are holding it up in the Senate. So the House doesn't need to be there for anything. They passed a clean CR to the Senate, which is what Democrats did 13 times under Joe Biden. Even when Republicans didn't like what was in it, they didn't shut down the government. But guess what? Democrats have their little binky in their mouth, and they're going to play baby games with the American people, with our soldiers, with TSA. They want to hold the American people hostage because they want $500 million for NPR and PBS. They want their propaganda networks funded. Take a look. It says, and then it says, Democrats are in Washington ready to keep government open and lower healthcare costs. If Republicans force a shutdown, it's on them. Democrats will keep fighting to protect your healthcare. This isn't about healthcare, folks. This is about illegals. This is about slush funds for Democrats. It's about their NGOs. It's really disgusting, to say the least. Really disgusting, to say the least. I just don't know how these people. Let's listen to Speaker Mike Johnson this morning. Take a listen.
Have already passed, signed into law to protect. We filed a 24-page clean CR They filed a dirty CR as a counter proposal, included in it, and they brought this up in the meeting yesterday. They want to restore taxpayer-funded benefits, American taxpayer-funded benefits to illegal aliens, okay? We're not doing that. We got rid of that in our One Big Beautiful Bill. We're not going back to that policy. This was a big issue in the American taxpayers are not supposed to fund people who break the law coming into the country illegally. They're demanding that as a condition of their votes. They also want to gut the $50 billion that we included in our legislation, have already passed, signed into law, to protect rural hospitals. They want to claw that money back inexplicably. They want to give the Corporation for Public Broadcasting $500 million, $500 million, to prop up these left-leaning media organizations that we defunded. I don't think, and the American people don't think, that taxpayers should be funding that in the age of, ubiquitous media coverage and so many options. So all these things that they're trying to cram into a very simple, remember the terms of this, 7 weeks. We're only buying until November 21st, again, to allow the appropriations process to continue. And I think this is very important. We've talked about this on the program before. I've been trying very hard since I became Speaker 2 years ago to force the Congress back into the regular appropriations process. And why is that so important? Because that's how you act as a good steward of the precious resources of American taxpayers.
Exactly what we were saying, guys. Exactly what we were saying. And Darla Miller says, McGuire Air Force Base on lockdown. No, it's not. We covered that at the beginning of the show. A lot of people, they haven't gave updates, but it's an all clear. There was nothing going on. It was precautionary because someone thought they heard shots fired, unless something changed. But at the beginning of the show, we covered that, and the prayers to all our soldiers and all those people, because they're under a lot of stuff. But $50 billion cut from rural hospitals, $500 million for NPR and PBS, and taxpayer benefits for illegal aliens. This CR, just so you understand that the House Republicans already passed, they don't need to be in D.C. to do anything else, unlike Nancy Pelosi tries to allude to, is just for 7 weeks. They want to shut down the government for 7 weeks worth of funding, folks. And let me ask you a question. Why do they always say they're going to lower costs of things? They ran on this during Biden. Your healthcare costs will get lower if you elect Biden. What happened under Biden? What happened to healthcare costs? Oh, they went up? Well, let's hold them accountable. Leader John Thune, listen to what he says here. We're going to listen to some of this.
Is ready to sign it. Mr. President, we are just 14 hours away from a government shutdown. The House has passed a clean, nonpartisan, continuing resolution to fund the government until November the 21st. The President is ready to sign it. The Senate Democrats, they're standing in the way. Mr. President, I quote, "In a vacuum, this CR would get almost every Democratic vote. It just would. This is a clean CR that has no partisan riders, extends a bunch of programs that are Democratic priorities. It's clean," end quote. Now, those last few lines aren't mine, Mr. President, and they're not a quote from some other Republican. They're a quote from a mainstream journalist who is acknowledging what everyone knows, and that is Republicans have offered up a clean, nonpartisan funding extension, the same kind of extension Democrats have repeatedly supported in the past, and Democrats are blocking it for their own partisan purposes. Mr. President, it's right here. That's what it is. This is a partisan CR, 24 pages to keep the government open until November the 21st.
7 weeks.
At which time, the Democrats will have almost same leverage they have right now. I mean, hopefully by then we'll have passed more appropriations bills. I'd like it if we pass all of them. But I think it's reasonable to expect we won't have them all through
7 weeks. Now let's check this out. The New York Times Siena did a poll. This is between September 22nd and September 27th. This was views on whether Democrats should or should not shut down the government if their demands are not met. Only 27% says they should. That's an overwhelming 65% that said they should not. Democrats, 47% want to shut down. Their radical base wants to shut down the government. Independents, 59%, almost 60% say no. And 92% of Republicans do not want to shut down the government so they could fund healthcare for illegals. This is insane, guys. This is what we're dealing with. Let me pull this up and see what else. Give me 1 second. See if anything else has popped up. Gavin Newsom on Trump's speech. This speech should terrify anyone who cares about our country. Declaring war on our nation's cities and using our troops as a political pawn is what dictators do. This man cares about nothing but his own ego and power. You know what? I would love Gavin Newsom to go hang out at Skid Row tonight, go hang out in Oakland, see how long before he's robbed or murdered. Because it's his policies, it's Democrat policies, the revolving door in California jails, we're not going to prosecute you, that has caused all this. And now Trump is there to clean up your mess. Let's see. Again, Gavin Newsom still going on that woke ideology. Look at what he put up there. I just signed an executive order calling on state agencies and departments to expedite our response to the ongoing economic impacts of the climate crisis. We're taking a whole of government response to protect Californians, boost insurance coverage options, and reduce costs. How much is that going to cost me as a California taxpayer? He allows our forests to burn. They don't manage the forest here in California. So a fire that would be 100 acres, 500 acres, 1,000 acres turns into 50,000 acres so that he can blame global warming. I love it. I love it. Let's see. That looks like it for now. We're going to have an epic show later on today at 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern. Let's see. Hold on. Listen to this.
Simply, we want to keep the government open, and we want to work with the Republicans.
Do Democrats want to prioritize the health care of illegal aliens over a government shutdown? Because if the government does shut down, American
Excuse
employees are going to
me,
be furloughed.
stop it right there. We're not prioritizing. What we're doing is saying simply we want to keep the government open, and we want to work with the Republicans and have a bipartisan agreement to keep this government open, and health care is at the top of our agenda.
But aren't Democrats demanding health care for illegal aliens?
Democrats are demanding health care for
She won't deny it.
Everybody. We want to save lives. We want to make sure that health care is available to those who would die, but having the help of their government.
So you're good with the government shutdown, even if it means giving health care to people who aren't American citizens?
Well, that's what you're pushing on. What you're trying to do is you're standing here and you're trying to make me say that somehow we're going to put non-citizens over Americans. Quit it. Stop it. This is the kind of journalism we don't need.
No, I'm just
You're
asking
divisive.
questions.
No, you're not.
Yeah, no,
You're being divisive. No, please. You don't need to ask that question. You're just trying to get controversy here. You're not going to get it from me. We want to save health care for all people. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Appreciate it.
Refusing to answer the question. It's all you need. That video should go viral today, I'm praying. That was from Lindell TV. I would say absolutely not. Taxpayers should not be funding anything for illegal aliens. That would be the America First answer. That would be I represent my taxpaying constituents answer. But no, not at all, guys. Not at all.
Do Democrats...
I like that one. Let's see. Let me share this out really quick. Hold on. I did it wrong. Let's see if it'll let me. There we go. All right. Let's see if there's anything else up here. All right, that seems like it. Do not forget, if you're going to get in now. We have our raffle going on. You guys know we are 100% viewer funded. One of the ways that we can give back is through a raffle here. We appreciate your guys' support. This is the main item of our raffle that we will be doing at the end of this week. Friday morning is the raffle, so you better get in now. Once again, this is a beautiful steel flag right there. Just absolutely epic. I love this. Has the Pledge of Allegiance lasered into it. And if you guys want to get in for that, also a t-shirt and a poster from the Charlie Kirk, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, when we went to the event last week. If you guys are going to get in, $10 per entry. Every donation of $10 gets you entered one time. You could do $30 for 3 entries, $50 for 5 entries, and then we will get that shipped out to you. Want to say thank you to everybody who has helped out get the bills paid for the first of the month. You guys are epic. We did get a Give, Send, Go from Lee Bart. Thank you. Lee Bart's in for 2. If you guys would like to enter, all you have to do is you can do the donation at Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, givesendgo.com/Oreo2024. Or if you do mobile or online banking, then you guys can do a Zelle transfer to us. Our Zelle address will come up right now on the exit screen with some beautiful music. So thank you all. Appreciate you, and get into that raffle as soon as you can, guys. Thank you so much.
The Oreo Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. We're unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express.